right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get our program started in just a little bit. So Pegdun, Kulochun, please take your seats and we will be starting our program. I promise we'll have a lot of time after to chat with each other. It's going to be a beautiful night.
Shalom Aleichem, Shimnadila David. I'm here with the Assyrian Global Network to ask questions about Anna Eshoo. I'm here today with
Cyrus Yadigar.
Hello, Cyrus. What changes did Anna Eshoo have on your community that makes you want to celebrate her today?
To be honest, I don't know what effects she had on our community. I just heard of her a lot. Whenever there was a trouble in the Middle East for Assyrians, her name was invoked, and I heard of she trying to create some sort of a safe haven for Assyrians. So that's how I know, and I appreciate whatever she did.
Okay, Cyrus, thank you for your answer for our questions.
I'm Arjun Batra. I'm the council member for San Jose District 10, which is in Almaden, Santa Teresa, Blossom Valley. And I have a lot of Assyrian friends because they live in our district, and I work with them very closely on all the issues we have to address in the community.
How is it like working in politics alongside Assyrians or other Assyrians like Anna Eshoo?
Anna Eshoo is an example of the people who have given all their life to the public service. You call it politics, you call whatever the terminology you want to use, but the biggest thing to remember is the Anna Eshoo has given all her life for public service, making our country better, our cities better, and passing some of the toughest legislations in her lifetime as a congresswoman. So it is a blessing to work with a person like Anna Eshoo.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your time.
Assemblymember Gail Pellerin, 28th Assembly District.
Hello, Gail Pellerman. I was wondering, what working relationship did you have with Anna Eshoo?
Well, Anna is a legend. She has just done such great work for our region, and she's just been an inspiration to me and a mentor to me. And I have looked toward her for just her tenacity and her commitment to her constituents. And she was really an inspiration when I ran for office. And I'm happy to report she was one of my early endorsers, and I've just really looked up to her for many, many years.
Thank you for your input. Would you like to let anyone else know what you have got going on?
What I have going on? As far as, well, I'm running for re-election. And so in the 28th Assembly District is Santa Cruz and Santa Clara counties. And so I look forward to continue to serve in this capacity.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Now, next up, if you've never experienced traditional Assyrian circle dancing, you're in for a treat. Please give a warm round of applause to Damara Assyrian Dance Group.
Narine zmor narine Narine tchor narine Ay wet gul pahad bulbula Zeytuna enaushine Ay wet gul pahad bulbula Zeytuna ينوشنا نارين اسمر نارين نارين تخور نارين نارين اسمر نارين نارين تخور نارين عيوت قل بعض البولا زيتنا ينوشنا عيوت قل بعض البولا زيتنا ينوشنا لشوقك بيشادين نارنا يا دنيا لشوقك بيشادين وانت بلبل اخليه وي مخ يشمي يشمي وانت بلبل اخليه وي مخ يشمي يشمي نارنا زمر نارنا نارنا تخور نارنا نارنا زمر نارنا نارنا تخور نارنا ايوه قلبه بلبله زيتونه عنا وسينه ايوه قلبك بلبله زيتونه عنا وسينه
Şeklale, Marle Kopalo.
If you loved me, let me go to the real. Remember when
We sealed the deal.
millions of people, millions of paths, millions of possibilities. If you loved
برتامي لبرتامي برتامي منابل ثام سردشت وكل قوري هالوجوانق وخاماثم ما ثلا واملي ثام خارا قباري ولا تلزدو ثم مرلي باك وتخاب امام مرجاجي منابل ثام برتامي لبرتامي برتامي سوروك الرام الشيثك ما قبرام أرزو ثب يا شال إديو خقرن إبه وإيقارام موراب لي بدج من ناس دو ثولات لا تشوشارام الإديو خقري شمي سوروك الراب شوهارام شد ببارثام دوريين على خليثام يندن خد بها سادو خنجر القوت تليثام
خمتا خيمة لرقداقاتو برقدوموني براخيلي تبر سمتد قلباتو ششالا على خمتك ملخيمة لرقداقاتو برقدوموني براخيلي تبر سمتد قلباتو أقلاتو خطرانو رقادي درديانو بشخي قالي ربالي اختشي اين كلبلالي شيشة كنتو لا خمتا خيمة لرقداقاتو رقدوهوني براخيلي بدبر سنتد قلباتو ربانا دامون شبتا جوهاوا قلبا مخايا الشدرانا يما خنايني خديا شوق مني هيج لي رضيا أغرب برقا مجوج فكل نايني هجوجي شيشة كنتو لا خمتا خيمة لرقداقاتو رقدوهوني براخيلي دبل سنة تطبط الباتو زرد اسمختا واي مو بالشاشة البغرة ليلة كريتة وليلة إنتا أكمل ليش شالة يا نخطو زرد اسمختا واي مو بالشاشة البغرة ليلة كريتة ولا إكتا بصرة خيلة وشادولي لطيلة نورة ويمرة خادني لا برتولي هرش كلها بالعمرة بصرة خيلة وشادولي لطيلة نورة ويمرة خادني لا برتولي هرش كلها بالعمرة.
Thank you to the Domara dancers, and a special thank you to Mrs. Domarina Betpolis for choreographing these amazing dances. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin tonight's program in honor of Anna Eshoo.
Hello, everyone. I'm choosing this beautiful season of Thanksgiving to announce that I will not seek re-election. And I do so with a heart filled with unending gratitude to you, my magnificent constituents. For 3 decades, you've given me your trust, and I've given every fiber of my being to live up to this sacred trust in every way possible. Whether it's been in community centers, city halls, classrooms, or companies, you've invited me into your lives, your homes, and your hearts. And this has enriched my representation of the most distinguished congressional district in our country. As the first woman and the first Democrat to ever represent our district, I'm very proud of the body of bipartisan work I've been able to achieve on your behalf in the Congress.
Born in 1942 to an Assyrian Armenian family, Anna Eshoo's story begins in New Britain, Connecticut, a melting pot of cultures, dreams, and a spirit of resilience passed down by immigrant parents. Her father, a proud Assyrian, and her Armenian mother instilled in young Anna a deep sense of pride in her ancient heritage and a desire to serve. It was here that she learned the values of hard work, perseverance, and the importance of community. But little did she know, the path she'd take would lead her to the highest halls of American politics. Anna moved to California, where the energy of the West Coast ignited her passion for public service. This was the land of innovation, change, and new possibilities, and Anna found herself right at the heart of it all. After graduating from college, her public career began in 1980 when she became the first woman chair of the San Mateo County Democratic Party.
When I decided to run for the Congress of the United States, people said to me, "Anna, you'll never win. This is a district where no Democrat has ever been elected before." Let me say something to you. I hate things like that. Never. Can't. How dare you? Nothing's that simple. These are things that I call sacred cows. I believe that people are open, they're fair, and they're very smart. And they want someone to represent them the way I know I can and already have.
In 1992, Anna Eshoo was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, where her voice would shape not only the future of her district, but the entire nation. As the representative of California's 18th district, which encompasses the beating heart of Silicon Valley, Anna Eshoo became a key figure in shaping the future of technology in the United States. Her tireless work on data privacy, net neutrality, and healthcare innovation made her a champion of progress in the digital age. Eshoo proudly supported the women's rights to their own body and healthcare choices.
On a subject this personal, this important, we should trust women.
A leader speaks her mind.
I'm Anna Eshoo, and I approve this message.
As the only Assyrian member of Congress, Eshoo worked to amplify the voices of her people, advocating for Assyrian causes on an international stage. In 1993, she pressed the Turkish government to stop evacuating Christian Assyrian villages. International aid for Assyrian communities and limited U.S. military action to protect them followed. In November 1995, she raised awareness about Assyrians in the House Committee on National Security. Her efforts gained support from key congressional members. In September 1996, Eshoo urged President Clinton to provide aid and evacuate Assyrians, cooperating with U.S. agencies, which the Clinton administration granted. Between 2003 and 2005 in Iraq, over 50 Assyrian churches and monasteries were bombed, several bishops and priests beheaded. In 2005, Eshoo authored an amendment to the Foreign Relations Authorization Act, requesting that special attention be paid to the welfare of Assyrians and other indigenous Christians in Iraq. Congresswoman Eshoo authored or co-sponsored several congressional resolutions, including H.R. 683, 2016, to declare ISIS as perpetrator of the genocide against Christians and other minorities, including Assyrians, Yazidis, and other ethnic groups in Iraq and Syria. The Houses and Senate passed Eshoo's bipartisan legislation to create a special envoy at the State Department to focus on the plight of religious minorities in the Middle East. The legislation was co-authored by Senator Frank Wolf, Republican senator from Virginia. On June 10, 2016, in Washington, D.C., at the Library of Congress, the Assyrian Universal Alliance honored Congresswoman Anna Eshoo for her support for Assyrians and other ethnic religious people in the Middle East.
Congresswoman Eshoo, if you would mind stepping up here with us for 1 second, we'd like to present you with a plaque to show our appreciation for all of the wonderful work that you've done to our community. Mr. Carla Ganja, Congressman Eshoo.
Isn't that beautiful? Do you want to say something, Carla?
No.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? You want to take a picture of the pair of us? Wonderful. Start speaking now? Okay. Thank you. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to put this here so you can get a close-up shot of it. Shalom aleichem. Avitum Rabba Basima. I never thought that I would be at the Library of Congress and speaking Assyrian. So this is really wonderful.
Several times, Eshoo co-sponsored a resolution calling on the U.S. government to formally recognize the Armenian genocide, a reference to the 1915 genocide of the Assyrians, Armenians, and Pontic Greeks living in the Ottoman Empire. In October 2019, the House of Representatives passed the Armenian Genocide Resolution. H.R. 390 was signed into law on December 11, 2018 by President Donald Trump. The Iraq and Syria Genocide Relief and Accountability Act of 2018 authorized the provision of humanitarian, stabilization, and recovery assistance to genocide victims in Iraq and Syria, particularly focusing on communities like the Assyrians who suffered under ISIS. Eshoo tirelessly worked to grant Assyrians and other Christian refugees from the Middle East priority status when seeking asylum to enter the U.S. Congresswoman Eshoo never forgot where she came from. After decades of service, Anna Eshoo's legacy is one of leadership, integrity, and a relentless drive to make the world a better place. Her contributions to technology, healthcare, women's rights, and the preservation of Assyrian culture will resonate for generations to come. Anna Eshoo, a woman of vision, a voice for progress, and a champion of the Assyrian people.
Thank you for choosing me for the high privilege of representing you. May God bless you and your family, protect our troops, and continue to bless the United States of America.
What an incredible legacy for our people. Good evening and welcome, everyone. I'm news anchor and reporter Kristen Vartan, and I have the absolute honor of being your mistress of ceremonies tonight. We are officially kicking off our evening right now, and to do that, I would like to introduce Wilfred Bet Alchas, our host and the president of the Assyrian American Association of San Jose.
Not too many people can do the ch in my last name. That's wonderful. Yes. Good evening, Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, honored guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin tonight's program, I would like us to take a moment to remember the victims of the recent Hurricane Helene that has devastated hundreds of thousands of families. I would also like us to keep in mind the Christians in Lebanon who are once again struggling with the harsh realities of regional wars driven by non-Christian powers. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of them. Congresswoman Eshoo, you are surrounded by many of your longtime admirers tonight. Everyone is excited to be here. We are, first of all, blessed by the presence of Father Lawrence Namatu sitting right next to you of the Assyrian Church of the East, Pshena Tiyevet, Rabbi Kasha. We have also Assembly Member Gail Pellerin of the 28th District. Welcome. San Jose Council members Pam Foley, Omar Torres, Arjun Batra, and Biendo. Welcome. Thank you. And Mountain View Council member and former mayor of Mountain View, Ms. Margaret Abakoga. Chair of the Santa Clara County Democratic Party, Mr. Bill James. We are also honored by the presence of Dr. Maryam Qazvini of the Iranian American Democratic Club and Doreen Castleman of the Jewish Democratic Club. We are equally grateful for the representation of the Assyrian voices here tonight. Mr. Carlo Ganje is the Secretary General of the Assyrian Universal Alliance. Mr. Ashur Shemun from Arizona, he's the President of the Assyrian American National Federation. Mr. Sargon Yadagar, President of the Assyrian American Association of Southern California. Mr. Tony Khoshaba of the Assyrian Democrats of the Bay Area. Ms. Fabiola Soleimani is the Director of the Assyrian Aid Society of America. and Ms. Alexandra Lazar, Executive Director of the Assyrian Studies Association. Welcome. 33 years ago, exactly, I stood here on this very stage and introduced to a crowd of about 500 plus enthusiastic Assyrians an Assyrian woman who had decided to run for the Congress 33 years ago, right here at this stage. That year, we witnessed the first Gulf War in Iraq. Assyrians were still reeling from the horrors of the 8-year war between Iran and Iraq. And here at home, there was one major story that occupied the minds of all men and especially women in this country. It was the Anita Hill controversy. I like Anna Eshoo because of 3 reasons, I said to the crowd here 33 years ago. I said, she's from New Britain, Connecticut, and I went to school just 10 miles away from her in Bristol, Connecticut. She's a Syrian American, just like us, I said, and she's challenging the sacred cows. This was in reference to the video that you saw earlier. Here I am standing on the same stage, older and somewhat wiser, telling you why I still like Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. Anna Eshoo did go to the US Congress and gave us a voice. Anna spent a lot of time in Washington fighting for the voiceless and the powerless. And Anna Eshoo challenged the sacred cows, and ladies and gentlemen, she won. In the next hour, we will reflect on Anna Eshoo's numerous accomplishments for her district, for our beautiful country, and her Assyrian heritage. From her tireless advocacy for healthcare reforms, to fighting for net neutrality, to being a champion for environmental protections, Anna Eshoo has made an indelible mark on our nation's history. And as for Assyrians, we are especially proud of her steadfast representation of our heritage. Thank you, Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, for your dedication to our community, to people of all backgrounds who have faced indignity and discrimination. You are an inspiration to all of us. You've been carrying our history, our stories, and our hopes in the halls of Congress, and for that, we thank you. After 33 years, I would like to say this on a personal note. I really wish you good health and continued happiness as you move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you will all enjoy tonight's program. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Wilfred. Yes, the Al-Khas, I really worked on that. I made sure to pronounce that correctly. Well, we have another esteemed individual who is about to come on stage right now. It is my honor to introduce Gloria Maseko, who will share a few words with us tonight about Congresswoman Anna Eshoo's legacy of leadership in Silicon Valley, and as a serial entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience with Silicon Valley high-tech companies and sustainability businesses, Gloria knows this region very, very well and knows the work that our Congresswoman has done. So Gloria is also the CEO and founder of Silicon Valley Advantage, a technology accelerator and innovation center. Shlama, Gloria.
Thank you so much. What can I say that everybody is not already thinking and saw on the video, but there is a lot more to say. It is my tremendous honor to stand before you tonight as we celebrate and reflect the extraordinary career of Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. As a female CEO in high-tech business, I'm especially grateful on behalf of all women in high tech, for you to pave the way for many of us, for your tireless dedication to shape Silicon Valley and our nation. Anna has been a trailblazer and a steadfast advocate of our community since her first days in public service. Tonight, we not only honor her legislative achievements in public service, but also the values she has upheld: innovation, compassion, humility, a leader with a big heart, whose uncanny ability to connect with people at any level is truly exceptional and admirable. I have personally witnessed this, Anna. At a joint evening celebration of holidays, Anna spent 15 minutes with my mom. And my mom is here tonight. In your honor, she came all the way from Turlock and talked about the families she had grown up with in Connecticut. And she spoke with such passion and such big heart. While everybody else was standing there to speak to her, she had this one-on-one conversation as if it was the most important thing she was doing that night. That is a humble leader and a truly caring person. As stated in the video, Anna's journey began with humble roots as a graduate of Kenyatta College and Koro Foundation. She later went on to become the first woman to chair the Democratic Party at the San Mateo County, breaking barriers long before she was elected to Congress. Her early years on the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors, where she served as the president in 1986, set the tone for a lifetime of public service. But as Wilfred said, in 1992, when Anna made history as the first woman and the first Democrat to represent Silicon Valley's 14th district, a district she has served with distinction for 3 decades. This is the time I first had the pleasure of meeting Anna in this very hall. And as always, she makes a personal comments that makes the world of difference. In hundreds of people that had surrounded her, she turned to me and said, and of course I agreed. But always personal and always delightful. During her time in Congress, Anna has exemplified what it means to be a public servant. She has championed groundbreaking reforms in healthcare, advocated for the rights of consumers. Too close or too far? And fought to protect the environment. Anna's commitment to women's reproductive rights has remained unwavering throughout her career, and her leadership has paved the way for countless women to access critical health services. All of these issues top of mind today and topic of conversation in our world. But her impact stretches far beyond healthcare. As a true champion of innovation, something near and dear to my heart, she has been at the forefront of technology policies, helping to keep Silicon Valley the global epicenter of entrepreneurship and creativity. Anna has fought for laws that have protected internet access for all, ensuring low-income families have the connectivity they need to thrive in this digital age. Her work banning state and local taxation of internet access and discriminatory taxes on e-commerce has set the standard for a more equitable digital economy. Access and equality does matter, and we thank you for it. In healthcare, Congresswoman Eshoo led the fight to ban discrimination based on genetic information, paving the way for a more inclusive and compassionate healthcare system. She also authored the first law to study and prevent preterm birth, an issue affecting millions of families across the country. Her dedication to the future of medical research is reflected in numerous awards she has received over the years, including the Champion of Science Award and the American Association of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry's Congressional Champion Award. These accolades only scratch the surface of your legacy. Anna has been a tireless advocate of environment and clean energy, innovation, advancing policies and preserving the beauty and sustainability of our planet. Her support for cutting-edge technology and renewable energy has not only benefited Silicon Valley, but clearly made the United States a global leader in fighting against climate change. For her remarkable career, Anna has received many honors, such as City's Champion Award from the Cities Association of Santa Clara County, the Spirit of Silicon Valley Award, the Norman Mineta Lifetime Achievement Award, and many others. Each award is a testament to the life she has dedicated for the betterment of others. But beyond the titles, beyond the accolades, and beyond the laws she has written, Anna Eshoo has always been about people. Her love for her family, her pride in her children, Karen and Paul, her devotion to her grandchildren, and her unwavering support for the people of her district. Her legacy is one of compassion, leadership, unwavering dedication to the principle of justice and equality. As we honor her tonight, let us remember the countless lives she has touched and the future she has shaped for all of us. Congresswoman, we thank you. Your contributions to Silicon Valley and beyond have been nothing short of extraordinary, and your legacy will continue to inspire us and the future generation. We love you, we salute you, and we look forward to your wisdom and advice for many years to come. Thank you.
All right, Basimta Gloria. Now our next speaker is Elbret Bebla. Bye, Jabba Michaela. I hear a... Our next speaker is Elbret Bebla. Elbret is the secretary of the Assyrian American Association and the strategy and consulting manager of Solve Health. Elbret, welcome.
Good evening, everyone. It is a great privilege to be here tonight to honor Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, a remarkable leader whose legacy is deeply rooted in her identity as an Assyrian American. As the only member of Congress of Assyrian Armenian descent, Anna has carried with her the stories, struggles, and triumphs of our people, ensuring that our voices are heard at the highest levels of government. Anna's personal story is one of resilience and determination. Her father, an Assyrian Christian, and her mother, an Armenian Christian, both fled the horrific genocide waged by the Ottoman Empire during World War I. Her family's journey to America, much like the journey of many Assyrian families, was marked by perseverance in the face of unimaginable hardship. Both of her parents worked tirelessly to build their American dream. A small business, community service, and above all, a focus on family. Their dedication to giving back shaped Anna's own commitment to justice and social equity, values that have guided her through her decades-long career in public service. Anna's understanding of what it means to be part of a persecuted minority has deeply influenced her work on human rights and immigration policy. She has always been a champion for the vulnerable, including our Assyrian brothers and sisters still suffering from violence and displacement in the Middle East. One of Anna's most significant contributions to our community has been her relentless efforts to ensure that the world does not forget about the atrocities committed against Assyrians and Armenians during the Ottoman Empire's genocide. For years, Anna was a co-sponsor of resolutions recognizing the genocide of 1915, which acknowledges the Assyrian, Armenian, and Greek victims. Thanks to her advocacy, the U.S. House of Representatives finally recognized the genocide in 2019, a monumental moment not only for Assyrians and Armenians, but for justice and historical truth. In addition to this, Congresswoman Eshoo has introduced the Armenian Genocide Education Act, ensuring that future generations are educated about these atrocities committed against our ancestors. She has also worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the Simele massacre of 1933, in which thousands of Assyrians were brutally killed by the Iraqi military. Her work in this area is a powerful reminder that we must never forget the past, but use it as a beacon for the future, one that stands against hate and injustice. Before advocating for historical recognition, Congresswoman Eshoo had been a fierce defender of Assyrians still living in the Middle East, where persecution remains a tragic reality. In 2008, she founded the Congressional Religious Minorities in the Middle East Caucus, drawing attention to the plight of Assyrians and other persecuted communities. Her leadership was instrumental in passing the Iraq and Syria Genocide Relief and Accountability Act in 2019, which provided much-needed humanitarian aid to survivors of ISIS's genocidal campaign. It was through her advocacy that the U.S. Congress officially recognized the genocide against Assyrians and other ethnic and religious minorities at the hands of ISIS. Anna has also stood firm in defense of Assyrian lands and their rights in Iraq. In 2022, she called on the State Department to intervene in the legal seizures of Assyrian lands in Iraq, once again standing up for the Assyrian people, even when our voices were too often ignored on the international stage. Her advocacy extends beyond the Assyrian cause, reaching also to the Armenian people. Last year, she accompanied then Speaker Pelosi on a historic visit to Armenia, the highest-ranking U.S. official visit since Armenia's independence. Her continued fight for the Armenian people, especially in the face of Azerbaijani assault on Artsakh, demonstrates her unwavering commitment to human rights. In June, she introduced a resolution condemning Azerbaijan for ethnic cleansing, urging the U.S. to hold perpetrators accountable. Congresswoman Eshoo's actions have always been reflected in her deep connection to our shared heritage and her belief in standing up for justice, no matter the odds. She has been our voice in Washington, D.C., fighting to make sure that the struggles of the Assyrian people are not forgotten. Her legacy is one of strength, compassion, and determination. And we are forever grateful for her work on our behalf. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Basim to Elbret. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the artistic portion of our evening. We have quite a treat for you tonight. So we have two exceptional performances and performers joining us tonight. One is Diana Farrell and Ashtar Ashurin, both from the renowned Assyrian Arts Institute. Diana Farrell is a highly accomplished soprano, stage director, and opera producer, while Ashtar Ashurin is a talented dancer and choreographer. And I've had the pleasure of actually seeing her perform at my house before, so I can attest to the fact that she's very, very good, and they're both very lovely. So these two Assyrian artists are a part of the upcoming opera Gilgamesh. Very excited about that one. A groundbreaking production produced by Nora Lacey, the founder of the Assyrian Arts Institute. So we are truly fortunate to have them both here for the first time in San Jose this evening. So please join me in welcoming both of them up to the stage.
Good evening. My name is Diana Farrell, and I am the librettist and artistic director of Gilgamesh, being produced by the Assyrian Arts Institute. On behalf of myself, the lovely Ashtar, and Nora Lacey, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude for the honor of being here tonight to shine a spotlight on Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. We are truly humbled. So as you've heard, the Assyrian Arts Institute has commissioned a new opera based on the Epic of Gilgamesh, with the hope that it will not only highlight our artistic traditions, but also expand our cultural identity for generations to come. When I was first approached about this project, I felt an immediate connection, as Gilgamesh represents a legacy that perfectly mirrors the Assyrian people. Immortality isn't about living forever. It's about ensuring that our good deeds, kindness, and passion make a lasting impact, inspiring the next generation. And when we think of those qualities, Congresswoman Eshoo is the perfect embodiment. I'd like to share a message from Norbert Yusuf Lacey, who could not be with us this evening, but she writes, Congresswoman Anna Eshoo has been a powerful inspiration for Assyrian women like myself, who aspire to be strong advocates for the Assyrian nation. Her unwavering faith in me and my work through the Assyrian Arts Institute has been a continual source of motivation and strength, empowering me to support the creation of Gilgamesh the opera. In recognition of her lasting impact, AAI is proud to be dedicating the full-length opera upon its completion to Congresswoman Eshoo, establishing it as part of her legacy in the ongoing fight for the immortality of the Assyrian nation. With that spirit in mind, we would like to share a blend of both traditional and new works, including 2 readings from the character of Ishtar in the new Gilgamesh libretto, interpreted beautifully by our talented dancer. Yep.
And upon her father's order, Ishtar knelt in gratitude, singing, Holy Father, Almighty Anu, I hear your decree. Ishtar, your dutiful daughter, obedient to your will, shall bestow your blessing on the people of Uruk. To change the fate of the people, I must change the heart of the tyrant. Despair wrought by this demigod Gilgamesh shall cease, and his fate will be clear. She raised her arms and summoned the dust of the earth to create Enkidu, singing, My own progeny, made of clay from the earth, the image of a man wrapped in wax, conceived by a mother all-powerful and immortal. Ishtar, the goddess of war, imbues her seedling with gifts of perception, expedience, ferocious strength, tempered with divine traits of celestial love, fertility, sensitivity. My handmaid will tutor him in all earthly ways, and with sensual instruction guide his hand. All this and more will I bestow upon my champion, my blessing to the people, my answer to the suffering lot. And the spoil foiled king Gilgamesh will meet his equal. He will taste love, not of the body, nor for possession, not for the present, but for the future, to edify his name and be praised forever. Good King Gilgamesh, now you see, you will conquer death by good deeds. As you have lived by them the rest of your life, the living will remember your name eternally. Oh, Gilgamesh, Anu saw your destiny of kingship, but not of eternal life. In their wisdom, consideration, and with deepest love, the gods have given you this answer. The solitary end to mortality has found your body, but your soul will wade in waters of eternal love. Do not fear oblivion, for the gods in their wisdom recognize your legacy. Your legacy, this will be your immortality.
What a joy to be here. Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you. My name is Ashtar Ashersin. Thank you. Once again, we extend our deepest thanks for allowing us to be part of this evening. Since the music for Gilgamesh is still being composed, we are not able to share it with you tonight, but we do hope that you'll join us for the world premiere in March 2026. In the meantime, we conclude tonight's performance with a more traditional opera selection from Diana. This medley features songs from a character who is strong, proud of her heritage, generous, and fiercely intelligent, the ultimate symbol of girl power. In honor of Congresswoman Eshoo, please enjoy Diana's aria from Carmen.
Oh,
Megan Ochun. That was incredible. One more round of applause. Well, it is pretty clear that from the performing arts to politics, our community is filled with amazing, amazing legacy here. Well, now if you could please welcome Karen Eshoo to the stage with me. Karen holds a master's in education and history from Stanford and a doctorate in education from UC Berkeley. Currently, she is the head of school at the Peninsula High School, excuse me. She also happens to be Congresswoman Eshoo's daughter. She must be very proud.
Shalom Alech. That's about all the Assyrian I can speak, unless you're about to offer me some chada. I haven't seen any in the hall tonight. It's very disappointing. So, first of all, it's a real honor to be asked to speak to introduce my mom tonight. My mom has been an amazing mom, and part of that is because since we've been together, which is just over 55 years now. I think that what probably strikes me the most about my mom is that from some of my earliest memories, I knew I wanted to be just like her. So there was a time when my mom was going through a phase when she was, I think, like growing out her hair when I was maybe about 5 or 6 years old. And I remember she used to put a scarf over her head all the time, and people would say, "Oh, I love that scarf." And she would say, "Oh, it's because my hair is a mess. My hair is a mess." And so I started wearing a scarf around my head, and people would say, "Oh, Karen, you're wearing a scarf." And I said, "That's because my hair is a mess. It's a mess." When I would listen to her talk on the phone, and I listened to kind of the way that her tone would change depending on how passionately she felt about something, I realized later on when I became a teacher, and I'm a history teacher, that I realized later on that my voice would do the exact same thing. It would go up and down depending on how excited I was about whatever that thing was that I was describing in class. And I can't imagine having a better person to emulate than Mom. So there are a few things that I think that have been said tonight that are already on my list as well, but I'll tell them from my perspective at least. First of all, I can't really imagine a better group to be celebrating Mom tonight. Just being in a room of people who, first of all, know how to pronounce our name. I mean, it's really exciting to hear so many people say Eshoo instead of Eshoo. I'm looking around, I'm seeing all of the eyebrows. That's usually our calling card, right? And my guess is that there are a lot of people in the room, like Mom and me, who have to give the speech that I'm pretty sure all Assyrians give, where we have to say, "No, it's Assyrian, not Syrian, and yes, it's different." Right? So I feel very much at home with all of you tonight, and I appreciate so much, again, having both of us here. But for my mom, I think the things that stand out to me the most, first of all, is the fact that, and this has come up tonight, my mom knows who she is, and she also knows why she is. And it goes back to her parents, my beloved grandparents. They knew how to love. And that, I think, is what really set the foundation for Mom to be the person that she is. Because they never expected her to be anybody except who she is, exactly who she is. And that's the kind of gift that even after many years ago when we lost them, that is the gift that keeps on giving. And that is the gift that has been given to me as well. She knows who she is, and she knows why she is. And the way that that's translated into her work in the Congress has been extraordinary, as we've all heard and seen tonight. And I think that in particular, part of the reason why is because Mom feels personally about the things that she champions. Sometimes she feels personally about it because she's talked to constituents and she understands the pain that they're in. Think about the work that she's done on breast cancer and making sure that any woman who has to face breast cancer also knows that there is a requirement that the insurance company pays for reconstructive surgery. That happened because my mom made that happen. One of her dearest friends who passed away from pancreatic cancer, that was one of the things that she felt super personally about. And she has done more than anybody else in the House to further research on pancreatic cancer because she felt personally about that. And, as we know, she was relentless in making sure that while she was still in the Congress, that she would see the United States do the right thing and acknowledge the Armenian and Assyrian genocide. Because that's personal too. That's personal to me, not just on my mom's side of the family, but on my dad's side of the family as well. They all came from the same area. So when mom takes it personally, this is the other thing she's really good at, she gets it done. One of the things that doesn't get a lot of press these days, and I think we probably know why, is the fact that there are lots of people in Congress who actually do work across the aisle. Mom is the master. She really is. She is the master of this. I actually grew up in a purple house. Mom obviously is a Democrat for a living. My dad is a Republican who's really a libertarian, but you know. So I grew up in a debate house, for sure. And I'm sure that is one of the many things that prepared Mom to go to the House and be as successful as she is. And at the same time, Mom knows that at the end of the day, her job is to serve her constituents, and that's what she does. So she will walk across any aisle to meet up with any person who she knows can help her get the stuff done. When you look at the long list, and they're all there in the back, some of them actually are all in the back. Mom, is it 62 bills signed over the years? Is it 62? 60, more? It's more. I know, I'm undercutting it again. A lot, it's a lot. Mom has been successful in passing some of the most important legislation over her almost 32 years in Congress. And that's because she does the work and she gets it done. That's how she's always been. She did that around the House too, and made sure that we actually followed in her footsteps. But I think that at the end of the day, what I love the most about being her daughter is that if there's one thing I've certainly learned from her is integrity. Mom is not the kind of person who will do things that are expedient. She's not going to cut corners. She's not going to let you off the hook. If you're ever wondering about that, maybe go back and watch the video of her when Mark Zuckerberg came in front of her committee. I don't have a lot of sympathy for Mark Zuckerberg ever, but I will say when I was watching him kind of going like this as she was coming at him, my brother and I had a conversation about this. I did have that moment where I was like, oh, dude, yeah, I've been there. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. And the thing is that the reason why she will do that when it's necessary is because she has integrity. And she is not going to let somebody who doesn't get away with that. And she makes it public, and she makes sure it's in the record. That's one of the reasons I'm so proud of her. So hopefully I have inherited a lot from my mom that is useful in my own job. I am in education. People ask me all the time, oh, are you going to go into politics sometimes? And I always laugh and say, yeah, I'm actually already in politics. I run a school. So, but I do know that understanding what values are and how to put values into action, I understand what that means from my work with students, and I definitely know what it's done for our district here in California, thanks to the one, the only, the truly incomparable Anna Eshoo. I love you, Mom.
Wow, oh my goodness. I've leaned over and said to Father Lawrence, Abechta Meile. Who are they talking about? Well, good evening, everyone. It's so wonderful to be here with you. This is so special. This is so special. And there's so many that have worked so hard to make this evening special. And I want to acknowledge everyone. Let me start with Father Lawrence. Thank you, Father. Thank you for guiding the community. Thank you for being someone that we can not only look up to, but wish to follow, for your spiritual guidance and all that means. You help keep our people together in what has kept us together over centuries, and that's our faith. So thank you. Thank you, Father. To everyone that's a part of Mar Yosef Parish, and to, I don't know if I'm going to get this in order because there are many that I want to acknowledge. Let me start with Wilfred Bet-Olchus. Wilfred, thank you. Thank you for your beautiful words. And can you believe that 33 years ago, right here, thank you. Thank you. To Kristen Vartan. Kristen, you did a beautiful job, a really beautiful job. Where are you? There you are. Being the master of ceremonies. To Nora Lacey and the Assyrian Art Institute. You know, I don't think it's very often that our people think about the arts, but the arts are part of our heritage. And it's some of the most magnificent art and music, the self-expression of our people over centuries. It's so beautiful to have it expressed here this evening. So thank you. And Diana, to hear your voice, oh my goodness. It sounds like an angel singing, really. Thank you. To Ishmael, the Qanun player. Where is he? Where are you? Sitting right in front of me, probably. There you are. Thank you for that. And to the dancers, to the young dancers. And Dolmina, thank you for all of the work that you've done. Holy Libbech, really. Chizmila. Yeah, she's related to my family, my beautiful family. Now, let me see. Now, there's someone else who began all of this, and he approached me some time ago, Tony Koshaba. Tony, yes. And Tony said, Anna, we want to do something. I said, Tony, it's too much trouble. It's a lot of work. No, we're going to do it. He really is like a brother to me. And Tony is respected throughout this community in our region. And, you know, when our people do things in the broader community, I can't tell you how proud it makes me. And it says something about all of us. So, Tony, thank you for everything that you've done and what you continue to do. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful to you. Gloria Machiko, Gloria, you spoke beautifully. My goodness. Well, I don't know where you get all of these things going on and on about me, but it's really more than special. And Elbert Bebla. Now, Father Lawrence leaned over to me and he explained your name to me, what it means in Assyrian. Brat Allah. It's a beautiful name. And you're beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being the secretary of the Assyrian American Association of San Jose. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Well, to my daughter, Karen. I'm so proud. Of Bati. Yeah, I'm proud of you, Karen. Karen is a good girl, and she really is. And, I remember when I was much, much younger than Karen, and when we would be at a wedding, and there were weddings all the time in the Assyrian Hall, that they would refer to someone as Brat Nashe, and it was that this girl comes from a good family. That was a high compliment. It's the way I remember it. So, Karen, Nani and Papi are very proud of you. They're very proud of you, my girl. So to each of you, this is overwhelming, that you would come together, work hard to come together to plan this evening and to do it in the way that you've done. I am so deeply, deeply grateful to you. There are so many organizations that are doing wonderful things. They all mean something to me. But you're my people. You are my people. And that is what has shaped me. That is what has shaped me. Who I come from, a family of faith, a family of traditions, a family that was proud of who and what they are. They drew from their ancestors. Daddy used to say, the only way we know how to work is hard. And that's what he did. He became a very successful jeweler with his brother in Connecticut. And so it was the George's family was a large family. And the two families, the two brothers, lived together in a very big house with Nana Sutta being the head of everything. And she was the boss. She was the boss. And that's the way I grew up. And when I was about 12 or 13 years old, we moved across the street. How's that? There was another house, another George's house that was built, and we moved across the street. But that family and the values of our people, really, I knew I was loved, and I was totally secure between my family and my faith. That's the way I grew up. And even though I'm not speaking Assyrian to you, I do understand the language very well. So I can't give a speech in Assyrian. I wish that Mom and Dad were still alive, because I could have asked them, they could have told me, and I would have written it down. So, in running for Congress is daunting. It's a huge, huge undertaking, and it's a good thing I didn't realize all the demands that there would be. But you do it day by day. You take it on day by day, and you keep building. You keep building. Politics is additive. You have to keep adding. You have to keep adding. But what I kept adding to was the base that I already had, and that was all of you. It didn't matter to you whether I was a Democrat or a Republican. What mattered to you is that I was an Assyrian. And that, no, really, really. And there's so many that worked very hard, that you believed in me, and it was really something that we made it. And when you make it, you carry everyone with you into the Congress. You carry everyone with you that you're going to represent. What I understood, and it wasn't because I needed to read history, I heard history. I heard history. Why? Because it was spoken of really on a daily basis in some way, shape, or form by whomever came to visit, that were Nana's friends. We got, as we got older, we would ask Mom and Dad about their experiences and what they remembered. So I took that with me into the Congress. And I wish I had $1 for every time a member of Congress said, "What kind of name is that? What nationality are you?" And for, I think with the exception of a handful from the Bay Area, the rest of the Congress had not heard of or understood who the Assyrian people are. And I could tell them. I could tell them with a great deal of pride, there was one other Assyrian that served in the Congress, and that was Adam Benjamin. I don't know if you're aware of Adam. Adam had really distinguished himself in the state of Indiana. He served in the state legislature, I think both in the lower and the upper chamber. He was a graduate of West Point. He was an engineer by background, and he was elected to the House of Representatives and served there from 1977 to September of 1982, until his untimely death at the age of only 47 years old. He was brilliant, and he was highly respected. In fact, I think there's a highway, a library, and another building in the Gary, Indiana area named after Adam. And Mom knew his family. And so when I got to the Congress, I asked many members, members that had been there for a while, if they had served with Adam Benjamin. And they had, and they all had the most extraordinary things to say about him. They all respected him on both sides of the aisle. So as I stand before you, Adam Benjamin helped pave the way for another Assyrian American to go to the Congress and to work there. And, throughout my time, I thought that it was very important to educate my colleagues and my constituents, 750,000 constituents, about our vibrant diaspora, and to highlight where we come from, what part of the world, and the experience of our people. What is, I think, if I might characterize it this way, for our people, for the Greeks, for the Armenians, and for others, targeted because we're Christians. And Christians being a minority across that whole region, whether it's Iraq today, Iran, and in other regions. And a great, great deal of suffering. What I could never, ever adjust to and would not accept is that the United States of America was silent for over 100 years until I got to change that finally and acknowledge that we are a people that were not only sought after, but that it was a genocide. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of that because if it's not part of the record, then historians don't record it, and those that don't wish to have us recognized, silence is absence. In other words, it didn't happen. And I was not going to allow that to take place on my watch in the Congress. So, you've gone through my record this evening. You've been very generous in going through the various, steps that I've taken to not only memorialize our people, but to have a developed respect for not only being an ancient people, but for being a vibrant part of of America. Wherever our people are, they have succeeded. Our people are honanana. They're all Honana. They're intelligent, in case there are people here that don't speak Assyrian. And that's so important for this country. It's part of the success of America, of the United States of America. People coming to our country for a better life. I never heard anyone in my family complain. They never said we were a minority, we were, persecuted. They talked about the stories, they did. But they loved this country. They had a reverence for this country, for this democracy. Now, I've shared with you that Daddy's mother, Nana Sat, lived with us, and her bedroom was on the first floor of the house. The rest of the bedrooms were upstairs, a really large place. And when I would walk past her room on my way to the kitchen to have breakfast before I left for school, she had terrible arthritis, but she would get herself to kneel down and kiss the ground. And I always would say to her, Nana, that's hard for you to do. Why do you do it? She said, to thank God for this country. To thank God for this country. So, this is something that, was instilled in me as a child. And it's the story of America. It's not just our family story. It's the story of America. And what I find today, and I think it's extraordinarily sad that that there are those that wish to come to this country and they are they're demeaned. They're demeaned. I've often thought if my grandparents were trying to come into the United States when they did and the same attitude prevailed, that ship would have had to have made a U-turn. Why? We're darker. We're darker skinned. Beautiful dark eyes, dark hair. That's menacing to people today, you see? So I think that my experience is such a blessing that I learned all this at an early age, because it's the story of America, and America has many different chapters of history to it. And this is one of the, I think, darker pages of history, that people are maligned, that they are looked at as being lesser. They are looked at as not being God's children. That's what our faith teaches us. That's what our faith teaches us. So, there are those that say, well, it's politics, it's this. No, it's about our common humanity. Our common humanity. And I've tried with everything I've done in the Congress to reflect that. To be the best of what Mom and Dad, taught us. And Karen was right. They were masters at the following. They really knew how to love. I never heard them speak ill of anyone. Not any faith, not any background, never. Mom used to say, well, with some people, she said, we all have goodness in us. With some people, you have to dig a little deeper, but it's there, so she would get to it, yeah. So, I thank you with all of my heart. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of our people. I'm proud of what we've contributed to this great country, and that we teach the next generation not only who and what we are, who we come from, what the culture represents, but that we are such an important part of the American story. And we always will be. We always will be. And that I've been able to walk the halls of Congress as Adam Benjamin did, and bring that culture and that faith alive in the stories. The stories are reflected in the legislation. If you read the legislation, you really need to be a lawyer to read it, because it's all written in legalese and it has to pass constitutional muster the House councils have to review all of it. But you know what's really something? That when those words become law, the words walk into people's lives. The words walk into people's lives, making their lives better, really enhancing the history of our country. So we can all be proud. You're paying tribute to me. But when I was at the table, when I'm at the table, I'll still be at the table until January 2nd, midnight, January 2nd. I'll get a paycheck for 2 days in January. Isn't that great? I've got to send it to the church. That you all have been there at the table with me. I've never forgotten who lifted me up on their shoulders, who believed in me, the first to believe in me and say, absolutely. I remember, oh my goodness, what was his name? Oh God, I'll think of it at 1:30 this morning. But he gave a great speech that night, and he got so worked up about what everyone was going to do, and if we raised the money and we talked to people and we did everything, then we are going to send Anna Eshoo to Beta Juara. Well, I wasn't running for the White House, but I got to carry all of you with me to the White House. I have never forgotten, wherever I've been, that you are there with me, and you always will be. So I'm really humbled by what you've chosen to do. This is a very special evening, and to the elected officials that came here this evening, thank you. I can't fully express to you how deeply touched and unendingly grateful I am to you and for you. I know that Mom and Dad are watching from heaven, and I have to tell you that every time I walk out on the floor of the house, which can be, it's probably thousands of times now over 32 years, I always look up to the gallery exactly where they were seated, and that they saw their daughter Anna being sworn in as a member of the Congress of the United States. So thank you, everyone. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless you for your generosity. Bless you for the faith. For the faith. It's our faith that has shaped us. And then the rest of it is delicious for us, isn't it? Yeah. And that we never forget our people wherever they are in the world, because they count on us. They count on us. They are, wherever they are a minority. They are a minority, easy to take after. So that commitment has to be a lifetime commitment, and that we always remember who it is that shaped us, and the goodness and the decency of that generation. We can pass it on to each generation in our lifetimes, and then our children, their children will continue to do that. It's a great source of pride, but it's so important for our country as well, because we're proud Assyrian Americans. Proud Assyrian Americans. God bless all of you. Thank you for your generosity tonight. I will never forget it as long as I live. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's so lovely. Sure, yeah.
A true honor to share this stage with you right now. Thank you for all you've done for our community.
For us, on behalf of the Assyrian community in the Bay Area and the rest of the country, and especially the members of the Assyrian American Association of San Jose, we have a small gift.
Oh my goodness.
We would like you to take this home with you. But if you don't mind, I would like to read it.
Yes,
So
yes.
in grateful recognition of Congresswoman Anna Eshoo, I can't even see this for myself.
Well, there's a glare.
There's a glare here. For her exemplary service in the U.S. Congress and her unwavering dedication to the Assyrian people, presented by the Assyrian American Association of San Jose, October 6, 2024.
Isn't that beautiful? That's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
Thank you. It's a little heavy, our apologies.
Can I go back to my seat now? No?
Just one more minute.
Okay.
I also wanted to say one more thing about what you also shared with us here. Earlier, one of the, I won't say which one, but one of the local politicians asked me a very interesting question. Said, I thought most of you Assyrians are Republican. I said,
I don't ask.
And I said, yes, but this is what I told her. I said, this is the difference between Assyrians after 7,000 years of existence and everybody else. For us, community and society comes first.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Love
That's
you.
right.
أنا أيد باسمتا من جيبت كل أطرايد لخا قادو خوبد مغزيتوت قابن أمتخ قديا إيبت آتنخا أرخا مغزيتوت بارانا كلن وإتليهيبي خدانا بدمطيا قد خامن يالي وبنات ديا أطراي أدوك تديق بدوقيلي وخايمة بدماضي البيت أخوارا أبيتن كلوكم باسيم.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Do you remember him saying that?
Of course, I remember
that.
that.
All right, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We'd like to extend a special thank you to the following for their contributions for tonight's event. Mar Yosef Parish, Assyrian Church of the East, Assyrian Democrats of the Bay Area, Assyrian American Association of Southern California, Nora Lacey, Assyrian Arts Institute, Sargon Tabor of OC Laser Engraving, and of course, the Anna Eshoo Organizing Committee of the Assyrian American Association of San Jose. Thank you all so much for joining us in honoring this esteemed woman in our community.
I'm joined here today by the Assyrian Art Institute, where the members here are
Rochelle Agassi,
Diana Farrell,
Ashtar Asharsin.
Thank you for each of you coming here today. I wanted to ask all of you what brought you here today and what inspired the art that you showed off here today.
That's a great question, David. Thank you so much for having us. Anna Eshoo has played a big role in Assyrian Arts Institute. When we had our inaugural event, which was the unveiling of the Shlama monument in Los Altos Hills, Anna Eshoo came, Congresswoman Anna Eshoo came, and did a beautiful speech and helped us unveil the Shlama monument. So she's been with us from day one and helped support us from the beginning. We've just always felt a connection with Anna. She has been an amazing role model and inspiration, not only for myself, my mother, Nora Yosef Lacey, but also the Assyrian Arts Institute. Recently, we have started the wonderful opera Gilgamesh, and Anna Eshoo has been so supportive in getting us the ability to go to the Kennedy Center with this opera, which we're hoping will happen in the near future. With that being said, I will pass it on to Diana, who will continue to talk about what Gilgamesh means and how Anna Eshoo has played a big role in bringing this opera to life.
Thank you, Rochelle. So Gilgamesh, the opera, is a story about legacy versus immortality. And one of the reasons that it's such a great choice of story to bring to the masses is it really mirrors the Assyrian people in our quest to continue our legacy, not just through our contemporary generation, but for many years to come. We will be dedicating the work in its completion upon its world premiere, March 28th, 2026, to the Congresswoman, because she has been fighting that same battle for Assyrians for her entire career. So really the story we're telling on stage as a collective people is something she's been individually having success stories written about for the last 33 years. So we're very grateful.
The piece that we performed tonight, the character that I played, Ishtar, represents, really I think there are a lot of parallels between a leader and a woman of power like Ishtar and a representative like Congresswoman Eshoo. Not only has Congresswoman Eshoo been on the right side of history for so many different things, which I think is just critical in this time, in this day and age, but what she represents and the inspiration that she is to young women, young Assyrian women, all ages really. And that's why we decided to go with this excerpt, which Diana spoke so beautifully, because it did highlight Ishtar's power and Ishtar's influence and how she shaped what was happening in the story. And what Anna Eshoo has done over her career has shaped the lives of so many people because of the impact that her legislation and the causes that she fought for, because of the way that it's influenced people's lives in her, all of her constituents. So it was a seamless, easy concept to come with. Yeah, it was easy to select this because it was a no-brainer. We need a strong woman. We need her to represent, and the parallels between her and Anna Eshoo. So it was the character Ishtar. It was fun to do. It was wonderful to do, and we're so excited about Gilgamesh coming up. So any chance that we have to perform it within the Assyrian community is just, it's wonderful. We won't pass it up. We won't pass it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you to the Assyrian Art Institute for your interview and the performance you did today. Hello, I'm David. I'm joined here today by
Gloria Maseko.
Hello, Gloria. I was wondering, what did Anna Eshoo do for you, or anything that we were working on that you wanted to talk about today?
Absolutely. I've known Anna Eshoo since she ran for Congress, as I said in my speech in 1992. Most recently, last year, a group of leading Assyrians in the Bay Area decided that we needed to create an Assyrian Heritage Center that is for all Assyrians in the United States and the world, really. As us being a stateless nation, why not have a heritage center that would attract everybody to the center to learn about our history, to know who we are, and attract Assyrians from around the world. So we submitted to Anna Eshoo what's called an appropriation to select our project. And to her credit, because of all the support letters that we had received, over 20 letters from local politicians, elected officials, community centers, other community centers in the Bay Area, she selected our project. Unfortunately, it didn't go through, but she, out of hundreds of projects that were submitted to her, she took up our cause and moved it forward. And we hope that she will do that again, perhaps in a different capacity as an advisor in the future.
Thank you so much for that. Is there anything else you would like to let the people know what you have going on, or any other projects that you're working on that you wanted to bring attention to?
Sure. So I have formed Silicon Valley Advantage over 8 years ago. It's a technology and a sustainability accelerator. The project we have going on now is that we are expanding our program to different cities, and city of San Jose and downtown San Jose is one of them as a possibility, as well as Cupertino and California future, perhaps. But I would like everyone to know that we are looking for entrepreneurs with great ideas in tech or sustainability, Bay Area, Silicon Valley, and around the world, to bring their startups so we can help them scale up, assuming they get selected.
Thank you so much, Gloria, and thank you for your time. I'm joined here today by
Carlo Genjan. I'm the Secretary General of the Assyrian Universal Alliance.
Thank you, Carlos. I was wondering, how did Anna Eshoo help you or your organization?
Anna Eshoo, she's been main source of assistance to the Assyrians in the United States for the past 30 years, especially if we had any issues with the refugees coming to the United States, immigration issues, or with the assistance of the Assyrians in Iraq or any other countries in the Middle East. I know her since her first election. I remember we did the first fundraising at this hall at the Church of the East, and she's been a great supporter of the Assyrian cause, and she has worked closely with the Assyrian Universal Alliance. Whenever we asked her something, she helped us out. And that's what she needs from Assyrians in the United States politics.
Is there anything else you would like to let the people know about you or your organization?
I think what we have to do as an Assyrian American is our responsibilities to get our younger generation more active with the U.S. politics, because that way we can raise our voice and get more rights for our people in the homeland, in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Turkey, in Iran. Our people are indigenous people of Middle East, and our history goes back for more than 10,000 years. And in order for us to continue to be around for another 10,000 years, we need our younger generation to get involved with the politics of the country that are living there in order to be able to get more rights and more freedom and liberty for the Assyrian people.
Hey, I'm David. I'm here joined today by
Sabrina Gashababa.
And I just have one question for you, Sabrina. How has Anna Eshoo inspired or affected you as a young Assyrian?
I think Anna has inspired and affected me throughout my entire life, just because she's been my representative my entire life for District 18. I remember writing to her senior year for high school in my AP government class. She's just always been a constant mainstay in the San Jose community and the San Jose Assyrian American community as well. She inspired me. Her and others definitely inspired me to pursue my degree in political science and in history. And my history degree, I wrote my thesis on the Assyrian genocide and the clerical class and how they were martyred and saviors of the Assyrian genocide as a whole. And I think Anna, especially with all the work she did with the getting the Armenian and Assyrian genocide recognized in Congress in 2018, I think that was also a big inspiration to me and something that's very dear to me and something that I think a lot of Assyrians now our age should remember, and where we came from and all the plights that our people have come from. And yeah, I think that's how she's inspired me throughout my entire life. She's, like I said, my whole life she's been my representative, so it's going to be very weird to have not an Assyrian representative in Congress, but I'm very glad that she has been my whole life. So.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. I'm glad we got to interview another young Assyrian about this issue. Hi, my name is David. I'm joined here today by Anna Eshoo, Congresswoman and Assyrian representative.
Well, thank you. It's good to be with you.
I just had one question for you, Anna Eshoo. What advice do you have for young Assyrians who aspire to become part of public service?
Well, I think it's very important for young people to become involved in their community. There are so many wonderful organizations that they can join. They can look to work for, a locally elected official, or work in a community nonprofit. It can be an environmental organization. It can be an ethnic, cultural organization. But you get to know people in the community. You have to know people in order to represent them. So that's my best advice. That's what I did. I loved being a volunteer, and I worked in campaigns, which I loved. And you meet some wonderful people, and make I think some of the best friends of my life I met in campaigns. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Anna Eshoo. We already had a lot of our answers questioned in all the great speeches that was given by her and her friends today. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for what you've done for the Assyrian community.
Thank you.